forever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, look at the top, a leaking top, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted little piano at the 50, high running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murph back once again for another what we hope to be fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 127. And we are live at the Bavarian Beer House at the draft. What is up, Raider Nation?
Yes, indeed.
Man, we are so happy to be here. Thank you so much to all of you that have come out and joined us here today for Raiders Fan Radio. First off, I apologize for my voice. I was too busy screaming when we picked Cleveland Farrell, just like the rest of you were, I'm sure.
Tell the truth. You knocked down 4 old people, a lady, and stepped on a kid trying to get your mug on ESPN.
That is absolutely true. And I knew I was already losing my voice. And then when the ESPN and the NFL Network cameras came on live, that was it. It was over. I just blew it out. And it was funny. I got a couple of messages on our social media. People were saying, I heard this familiar Raiders. And I'm like, I knew I heard that somewhere before. And it was you. I'm like, ah. But anyways, thank you so much to those of you that are joining us here today live. Thank you to this to the facility we're at, this Bavarian Beer House that we're at the Opry Mills Mall here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are so thankful to the staff here. They've done a great job in hosting us. Thank you to Shalimar, Tia, and Diana. Thank you so much. They've been wonderful hosts, and they've been taking good care of us. Taking good care of you all too, I hope.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
Great
deal.
Food and drink.
Good deal. Absolutely.
It's just super atmosphere.
So before we get going here, so normally the man that adorns the southern annex of the Murph's fan
This
cave.
is the southern end.
Are
of
you
the
in the
studio.
southern annex? Okay.
Absolutely.
So the man that now adorns the southern annex of the Bavarian Beer House high top table is is the one and only Uncle Mosh. Welcome, Uncle Mosh.
Hey, so glad to be here. And we're not the dynamic duo this time.
No.
We are the
dynamic trio.
We are the dynamic trio.
Yeah.
The fearsome threesome.
That's right.
Oh, I like that. I like the fearsome threesome. That's good.
And so, how exciting is that to be joined by the capo himself?
We got Aaron the Q-Dog Raider live here on set.
Give it up.
Yeah.
I think the word I'm searching for is root.
Welcome to Nashville, Aaron. Now,
yes.
You're a veteran of drafts. You've been to multiple drafts.
That's right.
But this is obviously the first one in Nashville. How does it compare, the Nashville draft versus the ones that you've been to, like in Dallas?
You know, whenever we got out the blocks, you know, I wasn't really, trying to get that vibe. I just wasn't feeling it. Then all of a sudden, the sun started setting.
Yeah.
And 200,000 people-ish made it real quick. So great turnout. Can't help but, this has been a well-run draft venue. I think the city has definitely put its best foot forward and very accommodating. And lots of people, but you know what? You can get places.
It's amazing, huh?
No log jam.
Yeah.
So, it's been a great experience. Like Tennessee, as a native Kentuckian, it pains me to say that, but this has been an excellent venue. The hospitality's been on point, and you know what? The draft is going well so far. Let's get into it.
Awesome.
We talked about that, the egress and getting in and out of everywhere we go. We showed up, the three of us showed up downtown 10 o'clock Thursday morning, stayed till 11 o'clock Thursday night.
That's right.
Paid $20 to park. Paid $20 to park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was crazy. And we were, 2 blocks off of the other 248,000 of our best friends?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Nashville's done a great, had all kinds of stuff going this weekend too. We had the Music City Marathon, had 30,000 runners downtown sharing the same streets that are now vacated because the draft is back on.
Right.
So they're like, you want to run fast because you got football people coming in. Quick.
You better run
quick
fast.
tear down and transition, man.
Yeah, and then tonight across the street from the all this craziness, there's a Jimmy Buffett concert. You know,
and most of the people just showed up because they thought a buffet was going on.
and they thought about
Yeah. Where's the buffet?
Buffet.
I said, no, it's Jimmy Buffett. So anyway, great stuff so far. We're going to get into a ton more about the draft here in just a minute, though. But you know, of course, Mosh and Aaron, we here at Raiders Fan Radio, we always want to give out some respect.
Sure.
We don't do props, we don't do shout outs. Nothing wrong with those things, but we always want to give respect on the top of our show. So first off, we want to give a lot of respect to those of you that are joining us live here at the Bavarian Beer House. We appreciate you all coming out. Thank you so much. Even Monster Mash Ken, who showed up late, but that's okay. We won't hold that against him. He's
New York
Monster
City.
Mash Ken, who showed up late.
And Monster Mash
Ken, who showed there.
Yeah, he had his nose in a menu and he was ignoring all the stuff around him. I totally get that.
But yeah, so thank you to the Bavarian Beer House, the staff here, and then something that's kind of away from our little circle here today, but very much part of Raiders Fan Radio is a veteran reporter now, and I call him a veteran because now he's been on the report now a few years. But Matt Schneidman of the San Jose Mercury News, who has been on our show a couple of times, including a live interview we did with Matt at the Senior Bowl. Matt was on the Dan Patrick show this last week, and you guys know what big fan I am.
Right.
I know you are of Dan Patrick, and to have Matt go onto that show and take the national spotlight and report on what the Raiders were going to do, and to not only report on it but then be accurate for what they were going to do.
Yes.
Big props to Matt. Absolutely, a ton of respect to Matt for representing Raider Nation and representing the. You know, we rail against big media a lot. We rally against some of the, you know who they are, the national media members. But,
Mike Wilbon.
But there's a lot of the
Cowherd.
There's a lot of the local guys that we really support. Whether it's Steve Corcoran or Jerry McDonald, and Matt is one of those guys. If you want to get accurate Raiders news that's not got agenda driven in some way, he's one of the guys. Check him out. And so we definitely want to support what Matt's doing out there, and great job by him. All right, let's. You want to get to the what do we got there, Mosh? You want to do some contact information?
Yeah,
let's do some contact information. Of course, those of you that are watching us on YouTube, you can always find us youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. You can also find us on any podcast service. All you got to do is search Murph's Fan Cave, MURFS Fan Cave, and subscribe to us there. So thank you to all of you that do that already. And I hope you're ready, Uncle Mosh. You're the man.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us show@RaidersFanRadio.com or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Murph's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good. All right, this just in. The pick is in. Q, who did we get?
With pick 129 in the 4th round, we have taken cornerback Isaiah Johnson, University of Houston.
Yes.
Welcome to the Silver and Black, Isaiah Johnson. Awesome.
What do we know about him? Houston. He's a
what we know about him is he's going to be better than the last cornerback we took out of Houston. All right? As long as that happens, that's all we need to know.
That's a great
He's
point.
got a winning smile, and he's got 18 career pass breakups, and I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Hey, so moving right along while you get a chance for your
Yes.
your vocal
Thank
cords
you.
to rest a hot second, we need to talk about T-shirts.
T-shirts.
One of the things we're doing this year is we're selling the second round of T-shirts.
Yes, sir.
The first round of T-shirts, we ordered about 7 of them, and we sold out pretty quick. And after we gave your son, my wife, you and I, and Q-Dog a T-shirt, we sold those 3 that we had left over. So we decided that when we were going to get our T-shirts, we don't price them. We're not into this to make money. Everybody knows that about us.
Yeah.
We do it because we like it, because we like the stress, and we want more reasons
Makes
to
you
yell at each
stronger.
other. Like living doesn't provide enough.
Yeah.
So we price our shirts to sell. We started making through some of our partnerships, like with NFL.com. If you use the link to buy stuff, they give us a kickback. For lack of other words, it's an incentive or whatever. They give us money.
Yes. Right.
So we don't want their money.
No.
Because if we do that, then we got to go legit. And we got to take down stuff that
They can't wear that.
that other people have trademarks on, and we don't want to do that. Neither of us have the time or energy to redecorate the fan cave.
That's exactly right.
So we decided we're going to donate all those kickbacks.
Absolutely.
And
right.
we're going to donate all the money that we make off of the T-shirts. Okay, we don't make a lot, but the few bucks that we donate. So we kind of had talked about it on the air, and we said who would be the best foundation to do this to, and the one that's closest to our hearts is the Bolitnikoff Foundation.
Absolutely.
So you reached out to Fred Bolitnikoff's wife, talked to her, did an interview with her, and she was gracious enough when we explained to her that we're a small podcast and we feel like we're growing and we want to be able to help and give back, that they are our foundation of choice, and they have invited us to one of their events. They hold 3 or 4 a year to raise money for their foundation, and it's a foundation that promotes domestic abuse awareness and prevention, and there's all kinds of scholarships, and it's just a really great organization.
Yes.
They
Safe
lost,
spaces, everything.
yeah, and they lost a daughter to domestic abuse, and that's a horrible story. We'll not get into all that, but it's something that's near and dear to all of us. And so with the money raised from the sale of our T-shirts, we're going to donate all. After we pay for them, all the proceeds go to that. We have a goal, you and I have a goal of raising $2,000 so that we can go to this thing and make one of those big old
checks.
Yeah. I got all this big old paper taped together and everything. And Q bought me some magic markers, and I'm gonna, we're gonna give them this big old, at least $2,000 check. So that's our goal.
That's our goal.
So I said all that to say this: we got T-shirts for sale. They're $30 for medium through XXL, and they're $35 for the big guys, for me and Q size.
That's right. Bad winter, baby.
For 3 and we will ship those out. We'll sell them till we're out of them, and we've already sold about a dozen of them. And the good thing is that right now here in the Bavarian Beer House, we got them minus the shipping and handling charge.
Right,
so it's $20 and then $25. So
and then you can just go to RaidersFanRadio.com.
Right.
Go to our website, and there's a T-shirt button there. Hit that drop down, and then you can find your size there and place your order for the shirt. So help support not only Raiders Fan Radio, of course, but more importantly, the Bolitnikoff Foundation.
And if we sell out of this first order, and we made a pretty good size order, if we sell out of it, I talked to the T-shirt guy. We can always
make more.
Yeah,
that's
like
right.
Doritos, man. That we can make more.
All right. All right. So, so this is episode 127, guys. And, we always like to refer our show number back to something significant within Raider Nation. A lot of times it's a yardage total. A lot of times for a long time it was a jersey number. Jersey numbers. But then you get to 100 and you run past Jim Otto. And then there's nowhere else to go with that. So now oftentimes we refer to it back towards something else. As we've done a section a couple times. I believe we did a section for like the original Black Hole.
105, right?
That was
Wasn't that
105? Yeah. So I got a personal one on this one a little bit. So for this week, we're episode number 127 of Raiders Fan Radio. Well, I sat in section 127 of the Oakland Coliseum back in 2011, which was Al Davis's last home game.
Nice.
And it was also the last game I attended with my dad and with your brother, my Uncle Bruz, before those two guys passed away. And so my former co-host, the guy that I started Raiders Fan Radio with, Sonny, with his dad, we took our dads to the Coliseum, and we saw the Raiders play and sat in section 127.
Nice.
And this was like, we'd grown up hearing so many stories about the Raiders, and this was, pre-YouTube and, pre-internet, anything when I was a kid. So the legends of Kenny Stabler and Phil Villapiano and Otis Sistrunk and John Matuzak and the Soul Patrol and all those guys, all those wonderful players of the 70s, all those stories and all of that was all passed down to me and to Sonny through our dads and through our uncles and those. And so to have then those guys with us at the Oakland Coliseum, and this was before, for those of you that have been in the stadium recently, it still pretty much looks the same, but there's new, but they do have the ribbons, the LED ribbons, and there's a big new scoreboard and whatnot. This was before that even, so it still felt just like it did in the 70s, aside from Mount Davis there, but it still felt like that. So to, again, be there with those guys and to celebrate that, it was one of the best Raider games I had ever been to.
That's cool.
Not only did the Raiders, they won, we beat the Jets, which was great, but that, and that was like Jason Campbell, Denarius Moore, like it was like those Raiders. But it was just such a great time, and so that was by far one of the best Raider experiences that I've ever had, and so that was right there in section 127. So I said all that to say this: we want to hear from you all later on in the show when we do our Sea of Fans. We want to talk to some folks that are here. Aaron's going to get up. We got a mic, and he's going to be walking around. We want to hear from some of you. Monster Mash Ken, I know, I'm sure he's not shy to get on the mic. Raider Homer, we want to hear from you. Michelle, if you want to tell us something. I mean, anybody that's here, Councilman Parker, we want to hear from you all. So just be thinking of maybe like what like a good fan moment, it doesn't have to be even Raiders related, just a favorite sporting moment, because that definitely was one of mine. How about you, Mosh? You got a quick one you want to share with us?
It sounds really cliche, but I mean, I've been to a couple of World Series, and I've been a winning coach, and so I've got a lot of those memories, but this weekend has Thursday.
Nice.
Thursday.
Yeah.
What we did, showing up at 10 o'clock and hooking up with you, and then just eating and walking and drinking and just being with 200,000 people and getting totally drenched. And then going and eating pizza, and then watching Q have a meltdown over a first pick, and then
Moss, you taught me off the ledge, and now you're going to throw me back on it? You're going to literally throw me back on it?
He threw you under the bus. What do you mean?
Oh, man.
What are you talking about? I had to break up the only fight out of all on the entire
I was
200,000 people.
I was a total fanboy for Josh Allen.
But you responded well, though.
Yes, yes.
And of course, the team responded well with their next picks.
Absolutely.
But this has been that 13 hours was so much fun to not even be a sporting event, to be part of Nashville's largest sporting event ever. Was so much fun.
Very cool. So. Great job. Yeah, good call, Mosh. Absolutely, completely unique. It's been a completely unique thing to anything in sports. How about you, Aaron? Give me a favorite sports memory.
Like I said, I mean, I've been to a lot of sporting events and things of that nature. I went to the draft last year whenever it was in Dallas. Different vibe here. It was a lot more, just organic, because people just came out onto the street. I mean, we got there, we walked up, we saw the woo wagons and everything like that with all the bridal parties and bachelorette parties and stuff like that. Then we saw other fan bases and stuff kind of matriculate and make their way down to ground zero and everything like that. But one thing was evident. It was Raider fan. Everywhere you went, you saw Raider fan. You looked in the rooftops, you saw Raider fan. You went down on the street level, you saw Raider fan. We crossed the bridge, Raider fan. I mean, a lot of fan bases, you know, that have a lot more cachet to them, allegedly, the bandwagon organizations, your Pittsburghs, your Giants, the newcomers, the Patriots, they were sparse. Now, I got to give some fan bases credit. Green Bay, they showed up. The Buffalo Mafia, hey, they're starting to get a little respect. Yeah. They ain't us, but they're getting a little respect.
Let me tell you, the best thing I heard, one of the best things I've heard in the last 3 days was the three of us walking across a pedestrian bridge from Nissan Stadium back to downtown, and Q's in rare form. We laughed, you and I were laughing so hard. He's in rare form. Every fan he sees, he's got something, right? So
it's comedy.
He sees this guy from
Watch
Pittsburgh,
what you wear.
And he goes, hey, why are you wearing that? And the guy goes, 6 rings. And Q goes, yeah, 1 for each of your fans.
Right, you couldn't find a Steeler fan out there. You couldn't find one.
Yeah, it was
But
crazy.
it doesn't matter. You don't need to.
That was awesome. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. We're already into the draft. So go ahead and, Uncle Mosh, let's hit the music and make it official.
Man, that wasn't on my script.
Here is the latest draft.
There's a draft.
Today's our draft.
Watch out for drafts.
This is the NFL draft.
The first draft. Look, I'm into a draft.
Let's go pro in the draft.
You're going to the draft?
Surefire first round draft pick.
Draft looks solid.
Good luck with the draft.
They drafted me.
Apparently we're drafted.
I drafted you.
I got drafted.
Another successful draft.
Yeah. Shallow draft.
Draft picks.
It's my 3rd draft.
You only get drafted once.
Well, it's draft day.
Let's talk about the draft.
This is going to be the worst draft yet.
It's our draft.
You draft me in the first round.
#1 draft choice, signed a big contract.
Excellent draft.
Nashville Day. Nashville Day. Nashville Day.
That's right.
All right, Raider Nation, we are here live at the 2019 NFL Draft. The first 2 days are now in the books. We are right in the middle of the 3rd day, and you know, it's just been an amazing experience so far, and I want to get your guys' input on it. I'll give you a few of just some of the highlights for me so far of what we've seen since we've been here in Nashville. First off, Nashville as a host, and I know that you kind of touched on a little bit already, but Nashville as a host has been amazing. Not only were the logistics and the infrastructure already in place and so incredibly well done in terms of like what we saw on day one. I went back yesterday. Both my boys and I, we went down to the draft experience, and where, you know, for those of you who listen to this show, and we get new listeners all the time, so for those of you that don't know, I'm originally from the Bay Area. Mosh and I are both originally from San Jose. We live now here just outside of Nashville, brought our Raider fandom with us, and so so I took both of my boys, we made the trip in from outside, and what's going on? And so we made our way downtown, and it was absolutely awesome just to get from where we live to downtown to park. We were, I mean, from the time we parked to the time that we were in the middle of that 200,000 people downtown was all of about 15 minutes. And so you would think to have that many people in such a confined space that it would be a logistical nightmare, that there would be congestion everywhere, that it would be, it was easy. Right. It was no problem at all. We got down there, and so it's just all of that has been so well done. So definitely props to Nashville for the, like you said, the ingress and the egress from it has been great. So now, while we were walking around, Aaron, you know, you had something for all the other fan bases.
Oh man, I was coming with it,
and I loved it.
Watch what you wear,
and I loved it. And you know what was so cool is that this is the first time that I've been to an event, and I'm guessing for you all as well, where normally when you go to a football game, even when you go to like an away Raider game, you see other Raider fans, but then the fans of the other team they're playing. But I've never been to a place where you have this many fans of all of the the different teams.
It was crazy.
You have every team literally represented, even those 2 Cardinal fans that we saw. You know what I mean? Like just about every team.
And the makeup that guy wore was amazing. Eyeliner. I mean, that guy, I saw his soul, and it was kind of feathery. It was kind of feathery.
So he came from San Francisco.
Hey, how about this? Something that I thought was pretty funny. So speaking of other teams' fans, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, out of all the Chiefs fans that we saw, watch this. We didn't even set this up. What was the jersey all the teams all the fans were wearing? What jersey were they wearing, Q?
15. Ribbit.
Every single one of them was wearing a Mahomes jersey. There was no other. You would think you would see Derek Thomas or Neil Smith.
Christian Okoye.
Nothing. Only Patrick Mahomes. So that shows you how long they've been fans for. So that was pretty fun.
Speaking of seeing people, Q and I were waiting for you. You had to run a quick errand. So Q and I are on the corner of 4th and Broadway, right? There's about 100,000 people around us. And we're waiting there, and this guy comes up, and I can't remember, was he a Colts fan? I don't remember what he was.
Doesn't matter what he was.
It didn't matter. And he goes, "Can I take a picture of y'all's backs?"
Oh yeah.
I go,
we had some fly jerseys on for real.
We did. He had his jersey on, his number 8 that said Q
Dog on the back,
and I had my number 60 Raiders jersey that said Uncle Mosh. And the guy goes, "Can we take your pictures of your backs?" And I go, "Sure." So he takes a picture of us, and then he comes up and he goes, "Will y'all flip me off, please?" Okay.
Well, I mean, that was a stretch.
You don't have to ask us twice.
No.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I think Mosh already had his finger up by the time he finished his sentence.
Yeah.
So speaking of Uncle Mosh, I got one of my other favorites. When we were walking around, we all of a sudden we look over and there's these Panther fans, and these guys they're in their 60s. They're they're larger fellas.
No, they were gentlemen of a certain age.
Okay, gentlemen of a certain age and gentlemen of a certain size, and they had their Panthers jerseys and their short, and they were wearing Panthers jerseys tucked into their shorts.
They're jorts.
Yeah, they're jorts.
They weren't shorts. They were jorts.
And Uncle Mosh goes, "Those are my people." He goes, "Those are my guys." He goes, "Well, before I left the house, my wife said, 'You're going to really wear your shirt tucked in like that?' And he goes, 'That's what happens when you get to be this size and this age. You tuck your shirt in.' And he goes, 'Those are my guys.'" And so Mosh goes over, and we got a picture of the 3 of these guys. It was amazing, of the shirt tucked in club. And it was so good. It was so good.
Hey, Mosh, he's not just a member. He's the president.
But the only thing that was different was that Mosh didn't have his phone in his holster on his hip. That was the only thing.
No.
Tell him about my interview.
He's around the youngsters. He kept it in the back pocket.
My picture and interview up at the bar.
The picture? Which one?
The guy from Texas.
No, which bar?
The bar when the guy goes.
Okay, all right.
More true stories.
So for those of you that could see Uncle Mosh here, he's a dead ringer for Rob Ryan. If you guys remember Rob Ryan, the old defensive coordinator for the Raiders, he looks just like Rob Ryan. So this guy comes over and he goes, "Hey," "Are you guys?" I forget how he started it off.
"Excuse me, are you? Has anyone ever told you look like?"
"Oh, that's Rex."
Like Rex.
Yeah.
I smiled.
First of all, wrong brother.
And I look at him and I go, "Rob." I go, "He looks like Rob." And he goes, "Oh, you're Rob Ryan." And we go, Yeah, he's Rob Ryan. And he goes, great. He goes, "Can I get a picture?" And we're like, "Sure." And Uncle Mosh goes, just keep it on the down low. Just keep it on the down low. It was awesome.
So I stood up, and he gets out his little iPad to take my picture, and I stood up, and I made sure I was real tall. And I put my arm around him, and he goes, "You're bigger than I remember."
That was the last time you heard that this weekend.
Is it real? Yeah, exactly. He goes, "Is it really you?" And I said, "Yeah, it's really me."
So
you didn't have any rings on your finger, so you knew it was you.
Yeah, I told you guys. I don't know if you guys heard him or not. Heard me say it or not. I go, I'm kind of doing some radio stuff with these guys.
Yeah, I'm doing some radio
Keep
stuff.
it on the down low.
Keep it on the down low.
No, but you forgot one part of that story. The guy totally looked like Justice Kavanaugh.
Oh, he did. So
he looked more like Judge Kavanaugh than you look like Rob Ryan. And then we called him out on it, and he's like, "I don't look like that guy.
Yeah,
Who's that?"
He did say, "I got to go really quick."
Yeah, I think that really
and then
was.
there were other people taking pictures of you guys, getting your picture taken. So somewhere there's somebody at home thinking, look, I got this picture of Judge Kavanaugh and Rob Ryan shaking hands at the draft. Well, how cool is that?
And we both had drinks in our other hands.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so one more thing. So we're how many of you all were out there in the crowd on Thursday night? Any of you out there? Yeah. How many of you got completely soaked like we did? Oh my gosh. It was so timely. It was like we're standing out there, we find our spot, we settle in, we're like, okay, this is great. We're in for this for the long haul. Then all of a sudden, the freaking skies parted, and it's like, we're like, oh my gosh, and we got completely.
You're missing the best part. Of
Okay,
that
tell
whole
me the
story.
best part.
So you all know you were there. You all stayed in the rain up through. Up through the fourth pick.
Yeah.
Well, we found a spot that was selling pizza right over there, right? So the three of us go, zoom. It was covered over. So we go up there and we order our pizza. Q and I are sitting there. We're eating our pizza. The rain's starting to quit. This one.
Oh, my.
I'm this one. That's me.
This one. He gets up, right? And he goes,
I know where he went.
I'm going to get ice cream. Okay, go get ice cream.
I was dealing with my feelings. I didn't know what about that Cleveland Farrell thing.
See, I was in mid meltdown, so I think he just hit the eject button. I mean, he just ripped forward and he was gone.
He ran from you.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and he leaves me with Q. I'm talking him off the ledge, and he comes back, and he goes, oh, there's no ice cream. The breaker blew on the truck.
That was a bummer, man.
I'm like, okay, Mope, you sit over here. I got big shoulders. I got you both. Right? So all of a sudden, the lights come on the truck, and Murph gets up, and he runs over there, and he's like, and he's ordering his ice cream, and me and Q are laughing at him. We get up, we go walking out there to meet him, and we go, Murph, what are you doing? And he's like he's 4, man. He's just shoveling. He's just shoveling, man. He's going, look, it's got whipped cream, and I got nuts and cherries, and then
brain freeze.
Some of them little sprinkles.
Everything.
And he's going, ah! And then we're going, Murph, and Murph looks up at Q-Dog, and he goes, I'm cold.
So I look right back at him and like, bruh, look what you're eating.
You're
he looks at his ice cream cup. He's like, oh yeah, you're right.
Soaking wet, and you're eating ice cream, and you want to look at Q-Dog like, was he supposed to hug you?
I hate that we have to break away from this conversation, guys. But the pick is in for the Raiders.
Okay.
We're gonna have to stick a fork in making fun of me for my ice cream consumption. But we'll have to see it when that pick comes in. Holler at me, Q. So we can go to that. All right, but hey, so while we're waiting for that pick to come in, though, I want to share one last thing, and then I want you to hit that new ID mosh, and then we're going to get into. Then we got a lot of audio that we want to share with you all, and talk about the specific. Look at me trying to use big words. Watch this. Specificity of the Raiders draft.
Specifics.
So So I split away from the group for a minute, and as I was walking back, we reunite. We're getting ready to walk back down towards the front, and I tell Mosh, I go, gosh, that guy in front of us looks really familiar. And I go, I got to chase that guy down. So I go up because I'm thinking I work with him or something. I couldn't quite place him. And I recognize him. Those of you, anybody listen to the Rich Eisen show? You guys listen to Rich Eisen? Rich Eisen's got his counterparts there, his cohorts on the show are Mike Del Tufo and Chris Brockman. And so I go, Del Tufo. Like, it just kind of clicked with me who they were. And he turns around and I go, I'm such a huge fan of your show. I love you guys. I got you out of my office every day. And he goes, I'm here with Brockman too. And Brockman's standing there with them, and we're giving high fives. And it's like, oh man, this is so awesome. And so we talked for a minute. They were really cool. They took a few minutes to talk to our crew and
took pictures with us.
Took pictures with us, yep. And I said, while we got you guys, I said, would you mind doing a quick radio ID for us? And they said, no, not at all. And so this is what we got.
It's Brockman from the Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from the Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
Right after we did that.
So we're so amazingly thankful to those guys that they took a minute to do, that they took a minute to do that ID. So the funny part of that is that as soon as we got done with the recording, those guys said that on one take, and I was so excited. I gave Brockman a high five, and I kind of jumped up and took a big step back, and this poor woman behind me, I stepped on her foot, and I almost Almost knocked her over.
Wait, tell him what the woman was doing. She was pushing a stroller.
I'm sorry. I know. I almost knocked her over. I felt awful, and so immediately I looked to my uncle, who's been my confidant, my supporter, my entirety of my life. I looked to him to tell me that everything's okay. And what do I get from him? What did you do?
Why'd you try to kill that people?
But anyway, so all right, so let's break away. Hey, do you know this one? I got this one.
Yeah.
All right, so the pick is in for the Raiders at round 4, pick number 137. They take tight end Foster Moreau out of LSU. He's a pretty reliable pass catcher. Wasn't as highly ranked as a lot of the other tight ends, but you know why I'm excited about this one?
Because he's a big fella. And he's an imposing fella.
And we got to meet him at the Senior Bowl. We got pictures.
Yes. He had Raider stickers slapped all over top of that silly gold door. But let me slide out of the way so we can get.
Stay right there. We need this picture right here.
Okay, we go. Let's do a picture. Yeah, come on. All right, we got it.
There we go.
Murph, tell him what we're doing. Tell him what's happening. Right
Okay, all right. So we're getting our picture taken. We're with for those of you that don't know, these are the counselors from Birmingham, Alabama. The folks were so kind to us to host us down for the Birmingham Iron for the AAF football game.
That's right.
And so we, of course, it was amazing. And so let's welcome them back to the table. Come on. First off, let's welcome Councilman William Parker. Welcome, Councilman.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here in Nashville. And I want to introduce my colleague John Hilliard from the city of Birmingham, Birmingham City Council. We want to thank you all for the warm hospitality you all are giving us here in Nashville. So thank you all.
Awesome. This has been awesome, man. I'm so excited to be here and involved at this particular time. Man, the crowds have been great, you know. So we hopefully one day soon, maybe in 2020, we will host something of this nature in Birmingham and have you guys to come back and do Raider Nation Live. We'd like to have you back in Birmingham. You're awesome. Thank you all for having us.
Absolutely.
That means a lot.
We're glad to have you. We had so much fun down there. You know what? I know it might be a sore subject, but let's go ahead and talk about it. You know, we had so much fun down there watching the Iron, and we had a lot of fun, I think, as fans watching the AAF and the new league, and especially supported Birmingham, really, because the color scheme is what started it for us, because they were silver and black, and we're like, okay, well, they win that. So a lot of Raider fans gravitated towards that team, but you want to tell us a little bit about maybe what happened there? But then after that, I know you got some really good news, some positive news in addition to that, to share both of those things with us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we did have a great first season with Birmingham Iron, even though the season was suspended. But you know, as you know, Birmingham in Alabama is the football capital of the South, and so we love football in Birmingham. And and I also want to just give a shout out to the Raider Nation that you know, congratulations on your draft picks. You basically had the championship game between Clemson and Alabama. So we wish you well with Josh Jacobs coming over to be with the Raider Nation, and so also with your Clemson pick. So I think you all are going to have a great additions to the Raider Nation. So congratulations and kudos to you all for your draft picks. So and also you know, we're working hard to bring more opportunities to Birmingham, and so we'll just give you a little tidbit. I think Mr. Hilliard mentioned that this draft is great, but we wanted to come a little south. So we're going to be working the next couple of years to make sure that the draft comes to Birmingham. Once we complete, we have over $1 billion in infrastructure upgrades that are going to be coming by 2021. And so we're hosting the World Games in 2021. So we want you all to come right after that event. So we'll be working more and more. And there's some other events we'll be working on. As you mentioned, the Senior Bowl. I think there's more room for other college all-star games, so I'll leave it at that. But just kind of put that on your radar that, you know, the Senior Bowl is great, the East-West Shrine game is great, but Birmingham has a place in that space as well. So we'll be talking more about that as we move forward. But I just want to give kudos to the city of Nashville and also to the Raider Nation. This has been an awesome week, and looks great on TV, but also interacting with the college and NFL officials and just the fans, and also just the people of Nashville. It's just been a great opportunity, and so just kudos and hats off to the city of Nashville for what you all have been doing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Councilman Hilliard, any words with us?
Well, we have a $350 million renovations going on with our Civic Center now and our new stadium that we're building. So there is room for you guys to come back and get involved, especially with our World Games. So maybe you'll come back during the World Games and the opening of our new $350 million stadium operation and do your broadcast live from there.
Absolutely.
So that would be awesome. We know you can reach outside of the market you're currently in.
Yeah.
So we would like to make room for you there. So we're excited about everything that's going in. I want to thank Councilor Parker for really having this sports bug in him, because he really ignites it in me. I've been traveling around with him for quite some time, helping bring this type of opportunity. I chair economic development in Birmingham. So that means anything that moves in terms of economic development and marketing comes through my committee. There's a lot of things happening. We're on the upswing, and we need new ideas and new opportunities to come through. So if you guys can imagine it, if you can dream it, bring it to Birmingham, and we'll work extremely hard to make it happen.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good deal. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today. We appreciate you coming out and celebrating a little bit with Raider Nation. It's been awesome, and glad to hear Nashville's been a good host, and hopefully we have been as well, because you guys were so cool to us while we were down there in Birmingham.
And I hadn't looked at the schedule yet, but I'm sure when the Titans play the Raiders, I don't know if they have a home game. If the Raiders,
it's a home game for us.
Home game for us. It's in Oakland this year.
Okay, when is that now? Is that going to be
It's the Sunday, December 8th.
Okay, the Raiders are playing here with the
No,
Titans.
No, they'll be in Oakland. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Oakland. Okay, all right. We'll have to come back up here.
Come ahead. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the Raiders. You can come on into town. We'll go share a game together.
We'll
Absolutely.
do that.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
yeah, for the upcoming season. So great. Okay. Hey, kudos to what you all are doing here at Raider Nation. Hey, it's great, and we love being a part of it. So awesome. Kudos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, good stuff.
How cool is that?
Oh, it's the best.
I'm serious.
It's the best. Isn't that cool?
I mean, to have men like that are vested with their years of experience, economic development pitch and everything like that, being genuinely enthusiastic about what we bring to the table, it just speaks volumes about the class act and the vision that they've got going on down there. Hey, Magic City 2021, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Nice.
I love it. And we've gone on record as saying that when we went down there, they treated us like gold, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for us, and it was
Absolutely.
so much fun.
Very cool.
Did a little broadcast down there for them, and it was a good time. It was a really good time.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into the draft, guys. So the Raiders, with their first pick, they take defensive end, I guess.
It doesn't matter.
Technicality.
We got him.
They get Cleveland Farrell. I like the way that you said. You said we got a guy named Cleveland. I said, no, Aaron, it's Cleveland. And he said, his name's Cleveland. I said, no, it's Cleveland.
That's got to be a family name.
So
I'm going to name him little baby Cleveland.
So we draft Cleveland Farrell. And now listen, he's only a Ted Hendricks Award winner. So if that's not
Defensive Player of the Year,
if that's not enough for you, Raider Nation, to get you fired up, then I don't know what is. But let's hear what it sounded like when Mike Mayock made the call.
Yo, Clay.
Yes, sir.
You there, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, there's one obligation you have with this pick. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
And that's leadership.
Yes, sir.
You promise me?
All day. I promise you, all I got.
Leadership, all right, man? That's why you're coming here.
I'm not gonna...
All right?
Yes, sir. I promise you. I promise you.
All right, man. We're excited. Listen, I'm gonna put your new defensive line coach on here. It's got some
This is Coach Brinson
Buckner. Coach Buckner.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
You know it. Clemson brothers here for life, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
I ain't gonna let you down, man. I promise you.
I know you ain't. That's why I want to go to work. I'm gonna give you. I know what you all about.
Everything I got, man. Everything I got.
That's all I want you to do is be better than you was the day before. And we're gonna make this thing happen. Congratulations, all right?
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to go to work with you. All right, enjoy the day, man.
All right, so when we were on our way up here today, Aaron said, Murph, I know you got some stats. I know you got something that you're going to share with us. So you know I hate math, but I love numbers.
Wouldn't be RFR without it.
That's right. And so Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, you know that he's a Ted Hendricks Award winner, which is the award given to the top defensive end in the nation. He's a consensus first-team All-American. He's the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. And the numbers, this is all I care about, 50.5 tackles for loss and 27 sacks in his Clemson career.
Nice.
That's all. So we'll take it. We will absolutely take it. So
two-time first-team All-ACC. So
you know, and speaking,
he's on the team. He's in the nation.
He's in the nation. And speaking of Ted Hendricks, bye-bye. Thank y'all for joining us.
We got to row the boat.
Okay. So speaking of Ted Hendricks, so he, Ted Hendricks is not known for being a social media maven, but he did tweet out Cleveland and said, introducing the reigning Ted Hendricks Award winner, 2019 Best Defensive End in College Football, exceptional high character, 2 years voted consensus team captain, national champion, and graduate of Clemson. So proud of this young man. Welcome to Raider Nation.
Nice.
Strong.
That's it. That's game, set, match to me. That's it right there. I'm excited about Clelin Ferrell. I know that he's not the guy we all had on our mind.
Who?
We were all thinking Josh Allen.
You got me anyway. You got me anyway, man. Oh, my gosh. Every time I turn the corner, the Don brings me back.
So I know we were all looking for Josh Allen, but, the pick was Clelin Ferrell. And, look, he's
a true defensive end.
He is a true defensive end. And the way that I look at it is this. Look, if he's your guy, he's your guy. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the people in the suits say where that guy should be drafted. If that's the guy you've got earmarked, if that's the guy that fits what your needs are, then that's the guy that you take. And after Cleveland was drafted, he had a message for Raider Nation.
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? This is your boy Clelin Ferrell, man. Can't wait to get started. So happy to be a part of such a great historic franchise and organization. Just want to let everybody know, man, that I know a lot of y'all was surprised, but hey, it's all in good faith, man. It's all because of the Lord upstairs, and I can't wait to get started, man. Love the silver and black. Can't wait to get out there to Las Vegas when we move, man. It's going to be a great journey, and I promise y'all getting a player that's committed, all about the right things, bringing the right attitude, leadership, and about playing and winning games, man. I can't wait to get started, man. Shout out to my new teammates. Can't wait to get started with y'all boys, man. It's going to be a great year, and we got something special coming. So everybody stay tuned, because the Raiders, they bad, boy.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we got one more for you. So and I'm gonna turn this over to our coach after the soundbite. So no one knows these guys better than their head coaches in college, right? Would you agree with that, Aaron?
Yeah. They've seen them on their bad days. They've seen them on the good days. They've seen them in the classroom setting, and they recruited these guys. They know the family, so you can't get a better snapshot than what a head coach can give you.
Absolutely. So let's hear from Cleveland's college coach, Dabo Swinney.
Who do the Raiders have now in Cleveland?
Well, they have an unbelievable, committed grinder. One of the most low-maintenance, humble, superstar-type players that you could ever want to coach. And I just think they got it right. I'm so happy for John Gruden because I know who he is. I know the things that he believes in. And he couldn't have drafted a better fit for him.
How do you think he'll translate?
Day one. He's an incredibly smart football player, high IQ, loves film. He'll be there before the coaches. He'll probably be there after they're gone. He's that type of preparer.
Wow. So what does a coach look for in a guy? Well, let me see. Low maintenance, humble, grinder, hard worker, smart, football IQ. Hello, all of those. That's a no-brainer. Q.
Mosh, if he could show up on time and play like hell whenever Gruden tells him to.
Seriously.
Talking about
crazy.
Absolutely. So good stuff there. So I think that, while it might have been a little jarring at first, it may not have been the guy we were all looking for. I think he absolutely is a slam dunk for what the Raiders are trying to do. And from an X's and O's perspective, the guy's versatile. He can move up and down the line. He can play multiple positions. And we know he can wreck shop. We saw what he did in the national championship game, and so I think that we're all going to be excited to watch him in silver and black going forward.
Murph, isn't that our style though?
Yeah.
Let's think about it. Draft picks number 1, 2, and 3 went as everybody expected, and then all of a sudden, we, the Raiders, think outside the box.
That's right.
And go, completely outside the box.
Absolutely.
And pull this guy who wasn't even invited to Nashville.
Nah.
Yeah.
And he goes in the first 5. Come on.
That's legit. So here's something that we're going to see as a theme running through this draft is that we're going to see 3 traits to all these players that the Raiders are taking. We're going to see, number 1, that they're physical, that these guys they're not afraid to tackle. They're not afraid of the contact. Number 2, and most importantly, they're high character guys. Every single one of these draft picks for the Raiders has been high character. And 3 is that they all love the game. They're all completely dedicated and love football. And when you look at what the Raiders are doing, and we've been accused at times in the past of not having a direction, not having a solid understanding, and maybe flying by the seat of their pants, whatever that may be. And what's clear now is that there's a plan in place, and the plan is to mold this team into the image of the head coach and of the general manager. And if there's 2 things about these guys that have in common about Mayock and Gruden, they both love football.
Yes.
Right? They're both high character guys, and when you look at their playing history, there's physicality there as well. Mike Mayock was a freaking DB drafted by the Steelers. John Gruden was, of course, he was a quarterback at Dayton, but if you've ever seen John Gruden coach, he's one of the most physical coaches that there is. He's actually running drills. He plays defensive end when quarterback drills. Like, he's a physical guy. So the 3 traits of the 2 men that are running the show are now the traits that you're going to start see emerging in the players. So it's a good direction, and it's going to be a common theme throughout. So next up was Josh Jacobs, the running back taken out of Alabama, and let's hear Coach Gruden call Josh Jacobs.
Hello.
Hey, is Josh there?
Yeah, this is him.
Hey, Josh, this is John Gruden with the Oakland Raiders. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, Coach?
You remember meeting me at the Combine?
Yes, sir.
I told you we had 3 first-round picks, and if you're there, we're going to get you. You want to be a Raider?
Yes, sir.
You fired up about it or what?
Most definitely, most definitely.
Man, our coaches are celebrating here. We're really excited. I'm going to turn the card in. You're going to be an Oakland Raider.
Thank you, man.
Hey, we need a feature back now, so I'm just telling you, you're going to get the opportunity of a lifetime. We've got some great receivers to take the pressure off you. We got a hell of a quarterback, and we got one of the biggest offensive lines I've ever seen. But
I'm ready to be a part of it, Coach.
That's good. Where are you at? Are you in Nashville?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna check out the TV and make sure you say some great thing about your teammates here in Oakland. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff there.
We never get running backs that can talk, you know? We always get them that go, yeah.
Yeah, we're reserved. Hey, he does his talking when he's carrying the football, man. That's all we care
Let's do
about.
an interview with him. Okay.
Hey, you know what's cool about Josh Jacobs, though? It's an incredible story for those of you that don't know. I mean, when you look at what the perseverance of this young man and his family past and what he went through with his dad it's such a great story. It's a story I shared with my boys yesterday. It's good stuff. And what do you think, Q? Isn't that just great to hear? It's always all of these young men are getting their dreams come true. It's literally dreams coming true, but for someone like that had to deal with the additional adversity.
He lived in his car for crying out loud.
You know, it's just a portrait in perseverance. I mean, if you've been through adversity, if you've been without, whenever you finally get, your blessing come true, you really don't take it for granted. He's going to be in the building early. He'll be in the building late. He'll be between the lines. And you know what? When he's on the sidelines, he's going to be at attention because I got this guy being dialed in. And whenever you get somebody that has those character traits that we're looking for, that actually is hungry, that has a sense of humility about him, yet the talent to make him an all-world person on the field as well as, the character guy off the field, kind of gets you giddy.
Yeah,
it really does.
Absolutely. And talk about physicality, man. All you got to do is watch that game against Clemson. I mean, he's just it's just cool, man. We haven't had, I think, a player like this. I don't know when. I think back to the different running backs that we've drafted.
We
not
keep
this high profile.
Maybe not a running back, but we keep coming back to Tim Brown. I'm seeing a lot of Tim Brown in this guy. I mean, just an uber character guy.
Yeah. Very good
a quintessential Raider, not in the sense that, he's going to slap you around and knock you down and take your lunch and all this stuff, but to be a guy that you can be proud of. Whenever you rock that jersey, you know that you got a man of substance right there. And you've got somebody that all the ladies want to be with and all the fellas, they kind of want to slip into his cleats, bro.
All right, so to round out the first round at number 27, the Raiders select the top-rated safety in the draft, Jonathan Abram. What school does he play at? Q, that's Mississippi State, right?
Hail State.
There you go.
Yeah, is John Abram there?
This is me, Coach.
Hey, John, this is John Gruden, man. Was there any doubt you think I was going to call you, man?
Man, nah, I knew you were going to call me.
You want to be a Raider?
You know I want to be a Raider.
Yeah, we are so excited. We're going to turn the pick in. I'm going to make you an Oakland Raider. Congratulations, brother.
I appreciate that, Coach. Let's go.
All right, man. Who you with?
Listen to this. This is
I'm with my family right now.
All right, just know this. I'm going to be calling plays against you this spring, and I can't wait to get after your ass, man.
I'm going to light your ass up, man.
I know you are.
I already know that.
Hey, you're going to be a leader for a long time here. We got Farrell in the first round. We got Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, my boy.
I know he is, and this is going to be one of the best drafts in the history of the Raiders. And I want you to come in here, be yourself. I know you love football. Congratulations.
All right, there it is. It's great, and I don't know if you can tell there, and I'm earmuffs just in case. But Gruden says, "I can't wait to make calls against you in practice," and Abrams says, "I'm gonna light your ass up, Coach." I love it. I love it. It was so good. So,
hey, Mosh, you hearing what I'm hearing? With every call that he makes, the swag is just getting more drizzly. Oh man, he's kicked back even further. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's letting it hang a little bit. Hey man, you want to be a Raider? You know I do. Hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that card in, bruh. I'm like, how many, pops has he had? He had a couple of pops, didn't he? Soul Patrol is back. And
so we talked a few shows ago about how it's been a long time since we had somebody that really had a big presence at safety. You know, when Woodson came back, he reestablished himself as a safety after playing corner for so many years. But in between, or
Number
until
32.
then, before that, I mean, we loved some players like Stuart Schweiger. Like we had some cool safeties in there, Tyvon Branch, Huff, but never really.
26.
It just never emerged into that really big safety. So Woodson was really the last one, and then before that it was a long time.
So Murph, what aren't you saying about number 42? What aren't you saying about the number 1 draft pick in the 2016 draft?
He represents the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids.
I mean, you're just dancing over him like he's not back there because he's small.
No, but he doesn't.
Move the pylon so we can see our formation. Okay, there we go. There he is.
He's no Charles Woodson. I'll say that. But you know who might be the next Charles Woodson is Jonathan Abram. And let's hear from the man himself talking to him.
Jonathan, what's up, man? This is Charles Woodson. Just want to take some time, man, and welcome you to Raider Nation, man. We can't wait to see you put on that silver and black. You know what? You following some greats now. You got your work cut out for you. George Atkinson, Jack Tatum, guys that brought it each and every week. But I know you up for the challenge. I got 2 things for you. See ball, get ball, and work hard, make plays. Can't wait to see you do your thing out there, man. Welcome to the team. Go Raiders.
All right, so he says Atkinson, Tatum, doesn't mention himself, but I'll mention him. So Atkinson, Tatum, Woodson.
Ronnie Lott.
Whoa, wow.
On rental.
Yeah, on rental. Yeah, okay. But you see where I'm going though.
Yeah.
He's talking about the pressure is on him immediately, and I think that he's the guy to take that pressure and run with it. I think he's going to be awesome.
Yeah. The Raiders are better when we have that strong presence in the back secondary. Whenever our back is short up, whenever that wood is coming, whenever there's trepidation, whenever you do those crossing routes, that's whenever Raider football has always been at its best.
Well, they haven't been afraid to do those crossing routes in a long time. In a long time. And because there's nobody back there to say,
that's right.
Try that again.
Yeah, do that again. Yeah.
Come on with that one more time.
Yeah.
I'll take a flag. As long as you know that this isn't working all game.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's your one.
All right, so at the end of the first round, Mike Mayock jumped on and talked to his old buddy Rich Eisen. Speaking of Rich, and let's go ahead.
General manager of the Oakland Raiders. There he is, Mike Mayock. How you doing, Mike? How was it for you tonight, first draft as GM?
It was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Had more butterflies than I expected, a little more nervous than I expected. It almost felt like, being a lot of years ago and getting ready to play a real game. So very appreciative of the opportunity, and we had a lot of fun in that room.
So let's get to your first choice of Clelin Ferrell, Mike. Lots of conversation of why you chose him over so many other folks that we're at the top of mock drafts, which I know you used to love when you were doing the television thing. Walk us through that process here.
Yeah, I think Rich, day one, when I took the job and I sat down with John Gruden, he asked me what was important about developing a team. And I said, John, to me, it's all about foundation players. And I develop foundation as both character and football talent. And you better love the game, you better have a passion for it, because nobody has a bigger passion for the game than John Gruden does, or I do. And when we started really getting in depth to, all right, we've got our grades, we know where we're stacking everybody. Who's a Raider? What fits the Raider? And not just Cleve Farrell. Trust me, I mean, I don't care where people ranked him. Okay, Cleve Farrell for us is a foundation player. He's a building block, as is Jacobs, as is Abram. And their football character's off the chart, and we also think their football playing abilities are off the charts.
Mike, it seemed to me like you're trying to get an identity for this football team, and the identity is we're going to be smart, we're going to be tough, we're going to be physical, especially the last two. Let's talk about the other two first-rounders. You got my top running back in Josh Jacobs, my top safety in Jonathan Abram, and both those guys, there's a physicality to the way they play the game. Was that the goal coming into tonight? I wish you had just sent me your list. It would have saved me hours and hours of work, DJ. NFL.com, Mike, come on.
You know what, DJ, at the end of the day, you're right. And we are sending a message, and I feel like we're sending it to our own locker room. We're trying to tell our locker room what John Gruden and I believe in. And it's physicality, it's toughness, it's a passion for the game, it's high football IQ. That's what we want to be all about. So those three picks were really important to both John and I. I think we sent a message, and I think we're really excited about the players we're getting.
All right, there we go. And that's pretty much it, right? There's those three characteristics that we're looking for, Aaron. What do you think?
That's the theme. The theme just keeps on getting driven and driven and driven. So no matter what the Monday morning quarterbacking or the armchair GMs have to say about the draft, foundation building, who can't get with that? So we're getting high character guys, high motor guys, guys that not just have had just a flash in the pan season. I mean, I don't want to say anything disparaging about, but you look at a Quinnen Williams. He was on the scene for this past season. The guys that we've drafted, even the tight end that we took out of Eastern Michigan, he was a two-time All-MAC selection. Cleveland Farrell, two-time All-First-Team ACC selection. You look at, Abram, two-time All-SEC performer. You're seeing the foundation guys. These are guys that are not just, cameo appears or anything like that. These guys have been cornerstones of the organizations they came from, and they're bringing that to the Raiders, and that's what we need. We don't need any guys that aren't all in. I mean, we got rid of those guys. It took a few seasons, even on Reggie's watch. We got rid of the guys that weren't all in, that weren't committed. Now we're getting guys that are vested, that are talented, that add depth, and I think we could just move forward with that.
I think it goes to show that where people said, oh, Mayock's a good choice, Gruden's a good choice, but are they going to be able to work together? I think this proves they can.
Absolutely.
They can not only work together, but they work together well. So
absolutely. And let's listen. And that's our next clip. Good lead in, Mosh. Let's listen to Gruden and Mayock as they cover their opening comments to the round one press conference.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited. It was fun. I thought we did a great job being patient. And at the end of the day, I think anybody that's been around here for the last 4 months since I've been here, we've talked about foundation players. And John and I have talked about that literally from the first day I got here. And we define foundation as talent and character. Passion for the game, love of the game, but talent and character. And that kind of drove this draft. And I know sometimes you want sexy and you want to move around and up and down and back and trades and all the rest. But at the end of the day, we got the guys we wanted. I'm proud of the way we hung in there, the work we did to get here today, the cooperation between me and my staff and John and his staff was just outstanding. It was, and the guys we have, wait till you meet them. You're going to love these kids. They all love the game. And we got on the phone. The only thing John gets on the phone. John loves being on the phone with the guys.
Heard that.
I just kind of thanked them and basically told them they had one obligation as being part of a first-round pick by our team, and that's leadership. And I think that's what all three are going to bring. John?
No, I'd just like to echo that. I think the collaboration between the scouts, Mike and his group, and the coaches was as good as I've been around, and we'll see what happens. But we like our 3 draft choices. We've got an early pick tomorrow. I'm really happy with the first 2 weeks of our off-season program, getting to know Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams. I'm really excited about Ryan Grant, Trent Brown, our offensive line. Some of our second-year players have come back and really worked hard, guys like Mo Hurst and P.J. Hall. So to add 3 more men to the group that we have already assembled is exciting, and we're anxious to go again tomorrow.
I guess they'd be anxious. The pick is just in. What'd they do, Murph?
They took another Clemson player, which is awesome. So Hunter Renfrow, who is actually, I would say, a larger framed slot receiver. Man, that's a good pick, Q. What do you think?
I think it was set first by the councilman. We're taking everybody available from the championship game this doggone January. I mean, it's not hard to tell. No wonder he sent all the scouts home. He just got the video.
Because he had a video of the
championship game. You know, but that's awesome. And you know, it's funny. I can't tell you how many times as a fan I've watched that national championship game and thought, boy, it'd be nice to have that guy. Sure would be nice to have that guy. Sure would be nice to have that guy. And now this year it's happening.
But this guy,
is great.
He's going to be in the slot. I mean, maybe we're taking a page out of the Patriots book. We got a little fellow in there to maneuver in between, you know, the hash marks in order to get us some yardage on down and distance plays. So if he can learn at the foot of Antonio Brown, this might be a good sneaker pick. So I like what they're doing. Absolutely. All right, we got a couple more for you. Let's listen to Mike Mayock, and this is on a round 2 plan. On his round 2 plan, this is pretty prophetic. What he said he was going to do is definitely what the Raiders did the next day.
You looking to target on Friday night, Mike, and Saturday? What are you hoping to achieve over the next few rounds of your first draft here?
Well, I mean, John and I are going to sit down and talk in the morning, but, you know, Rich, the whole goal, when we talked about our 3 first-round picks, we never talked about the 3 picks. We talked about the 4, including pick number 35. To us, they're all the same, 4 of the first 35 picks. So tomorrow, we're looking for another foundation player, man. We're looking for great football talent, great football character, and you better love the frickin' game. Better come in ready to play. And if we can carry that through the draft, we're going to be really excited.
Mike, how do you feel about what's left there at the corner position? You only see DeAndre Baker go, and we've talked about a lot of corners in that kind of 20 to 50 range, and only one of them goes. It looks like it's a pretty good group you have to choose from if you want to go in that direction.
Yeah, it was interesting to kind of watch the wide receivers and the corners really not go off the board at all until very, very late. I think if you're in the market for either one of those, it'll be intriguing at the top of tomorrow. And DJ, one of the things I love about 35 is also we've already had a couple offers for that pick. I mean, I had 2 offers for that pick before New England finished the draft tonight. So we pick 3rd tomorrow. We turned down both those picks because we think we're going to have some more tomorrow. So we could either sit tomorrow at 35 and take a player we love because we think 1 or 2 of them are going to be on the board, or, you know, we could roll the dice a little bit, move down, and try and pick up an extra pick. But we absolutely love the 35th pick in this draft.
Well, Mike, it was just a blast having you here. We missed you, and you should have been here because they had a house band behind us tonight that was playing music so loud. I thought of you. I thought how much you would have loved to have that that musical interlude while you were trying to do your job. You would have loved it, Mike.
Any orangutans tonight,
no,
Rich? Or is that
well, I mean,
there's still time, Mike. There's 2 more days, buddy.
There's still time left on the clock.
I mean, come on. Do you want me to do Indianapolis's pick this year, too, in the 4th round? What do you want?
Why not, Mike? We'll reach out. We'll reach out. Hey, thanks for joining.
Let's do it 3 times. Let's do that chimp 3 times, okay, in the 4th round. What are we doing?
That's fantastic. Hey, congrats, Mike. We're was pumped. It's fun to watch tonight.
Hey, we had a blast, and thank all of you guys, man. I miss you. I love you, and thanks so much.
Right back at you. That's Mike Mayock, general manager of the Oakland Raiders on Raiders Cam right here on NFL Total Access after the 1st round of the draft.
All right, good stuff there from Coach. Or not Coach. I keep calling him Coach. Good stuff there from Mike Mayock. You know, I like the fact that he hasn't lost his TV personality at all. And I like that he's great for a soundbite. He's fun. You know, and he definitely called his shot there, didn't he? Traded back, and he traded back twice.
Better damn well like football.
Oh, he even dropped a frickin', huh? I mean, but with his frickins and Gruden's gosh darns, I mean, hey, the mouth on these guys.
Hey, they're gearing up when they have to deal with Carr.
All right, so hey, we heard from Charles Woodson earlier, and let's hear him again because this was awesome. So yesterday when we went back downtown, we went down for the second round pick, and of course Charles Woodson came out to announce the pick. And you know, historically, that's been Willie Brown's job. Willie Brown has come out.
Hey. Settle down. Happy Mother's Day.
And he's come out there and wished all the mothers a happy Mother's Day and told everybody, all the guys, to go out there and treat your mothers to a
Get
dinner
some flowers.
or some flowers, right? And he's always really celebrated that. Well, Charles Woodson carried on the tradition.
Please welcome from the University of Michigan, 1997 Heisman Trophy winner, 9-time Pro Bowler, and Super Bowl 45 champion, Charles Woodson.
Raiders! All right, now hold on. First order of business.
Totally trolled him.
Keeping with tradition, you know this is the way Willie Brown would want it.
Nice.
You guys, Mother's Day is coming up. Don't forget about your moms on Mother's Day. Call her, take her out to dinner, buy her something. Don't forget about moms. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Classy.
Those that are here and those that we have lost. Willie Brown, we love you, baby. Now let's get down to town business right quick.
I love it. I love paying homage, man. That's the best. It's such a great tradition. And I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. We ran together about 5 Willie Browns.
Did.
It was great. So with that second pick, the Raiders take Trayvon Mullen, and guess what? If you haven't noticed the theme, this guy's a defensive MVP of the championship game from Clemson. And guess what? He's a physical football player. He's a high character guy.
Yes, he is.
And you know what he loves?
He loves his mama.
Skittles.
He loves football, man. He fits the mold. This is what the Raiders are now building. He's another foundational player, man. I think it's awesome. And so that brought us to the end of round one. You guys got anything, or round two, excuse me. You got anything left about round two? I mean, it's pretty consistent theme with every single player.
Big, powerful, love the game, aren't afraid to get out there and mix it up. Play, you know what I like is I like that they come from a winning tradition.
Yes.
That means a lot. Big games aren't going to scare these guys. You know, I know it's another dance hall, but it's still doing what you do, doing what you've done your whole life.
When the lights go on.
When the lights go on, right? And that says a lot. I think that's just so smart, man. So smart.
It's like they know that we're going to be a playoff caliber team for years to come. The playoff run into, heaven forbid, the Super Bowl. We want guys that have been on the biggest stage in front of millions of fans with all the stakes, all the chips in the center of the table.
That's right.
I mean, winner take all guys. I mean, this is what we need.
Yeah.
For real.
And the experience is definitely gonna pay off in the locker room and on the field.
Absolutely. Great point. All right, so one of the favorite parts of our show is what we call the Sea of Fans mailbag. So the Sea of Fans are those that email us. They will call us. All the listeners from out there from Raider Nation worldwide, and so we are so thankful to all of those of you that reach out to us each and every week. You can contact the show 2 different ways. You can email us. That's show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or you can call the Raiders Fan Radio hotline 909-345-3346. And you know, we always start off our Sea of Fans segment with a call from the Capo, but since we got the Capo live, we're going to hear from him live.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is.
All right, Raider fans. Aaron Q-Dog Raider coming to you from the great state of Texas by way of Tennessee. Now, we've had a great experience thus far. Raider fan has showed up often. He's shown up. And we've chumped a lot of the other fans if they come out here by numbers, by enthusiasm, by attitude, and just flat out swag, baby. But I'm going to work my way around the room. I mean, before I get too far into this, I've got, something for us to debate. I don't know if very many of you all have noticed, but we had a recent communique from a former Raider that wants to be a future Raider. I'm talking about Marquette King. I'm talking about old Donkey Tooth himself. Old Donkey Tooth. He put out a mea culpa last night. Now, he was on my hit list. Now, I am reserving, and matter of fact, let me go ahead and take one out of the chamber. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that back in the clip. How does the fans in attendance feel about this person saying he's sorry to Chucky and wanting to get back in? Because we have got one of the worst punters of all time. I'm talking about Johnny Townsend. I'm talking about the mistake from down there in Florida. So, by sound, by volume, who would entertain this cat coming back for a flyer at camp?
Only the guy that interviewed him.
Hashtag fire the Nelsons. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to slide over here to our first See a Fan lifetime participant, Monster Mash Ken from the great state of New York.
All right, Ken.
With his Empire take.
He reacted the way anybody would react. And you got to give this guy love. If you don't agree with me, just listen to the podcast, listen to his story. I gave him a chance to be himself. Me and the Wolfpack Nation, we asked him these questions, and I got a little hard with him. I asked him, like, did you join the Donkeys to take a shot at Gruden? He said, man, those guys offered me the most money, so I went with the money. Fair enough. And I asked him, what about the video? He goes, oh man, I just reacted. That was it. I was like, why didn't you punt the Chucky doll? He said he did punt the Chucky doll, but he cut it out. This guy has a Raider shield on his leg, right? This guy, when he's doing the interview, he's wearing a Gorilla bandana on his head. This guy loves the Raiders, wants to be with the Raiders. I'll leave it at that. And one more thing for Tennessee. Uncle Mosh and Murph said something. Tennessee, I've been to a couple of drafts, but this venue, the whole setup, it was amazing. I just had so much fun, met so many people. I infiltrated the draft stage today wearing not my shirt, this shirt.
Nice,
awesome.
Nice.
I straight up snuck in. I snuck in line. I was like, oh yeah, I'm with them. I got my little wristband.
Nice.
And then I snuck in again to get on the stage. And I'm sitting there, and you know what's even better? They made me take this shirt off and put on the shirt I brought for your son. They made me bring the Monster Mash shirt on. And I had to wear that shirt. They said, oh, you got to take your hat off. I'm like, I sat right underneath in the Broncos section.
Oh, I love it.
Oh. And I put my hat, every time the camera came, I put my hat on real quick. And then I told the lady, I was like, listen, I'm going to put this shirt on. I don't care if you kick me out. So every time they came on, they put the camera on me. Anyway, I dipped out. I got a nice picture. I infiltrated Broncos country. I infiltrated the draft because that's how Raiders roll.
That's
Raider
right.
Nation, baby.
Monster Mash Ken.
Monster Mash Ken.
The infiltrator.
Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Monster Mash Ken is the creator. He's the man who created Little Murph, if you ever see him from Murph's Fan Cave. Now, we've got the voice of Little Murph, who may reveal himself later, but the actual figurine, Monster Mash Ken, he's the creator. Now, we want to slide over here next with the Sea of Fans to what Raider Nation is all about. The family that roots together, fights together, rules together.
Absolutely.
Let's give it up. And we'll start with, of course, in honor of Mother's Day, and to give it up to Willie Brown, the matriarch of the family. Give us a quick story about what Raider fandom means to you.
Okay, so I was born in San Jose, but we moved here when I was little, but my dad was just a California fan. But my Aunt Frances and my Aunt Margie was a tailgate chairman, and so she fed hundreds of people. And also what are we looking at? Did we see something?
Raiders up there drafting.
Raider cheerleaders, sorry.
And then my aunt Francis was on the board of directors for the Greater Los Angeles Raiders boosters. So I loved the grittiness of the Raiders. I loved watching Howie Long, and I loved watching Marcus Allen when I was really little.
Yeah,
I just loved
awesome.
Tim. I just loved all of that. And then my husband married into it because you're going to get the Raiders. So, and then my son, he likes college. He's a college fan, so he's a Florida State fan. So, but he jumped on board, and then of course my son, he grew up in a Raiders onesie, so
nice.
And then also Darius, he's riding with the Raiders. Listen, you got to ride. You come with me, you ride with the Raiders.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's what it is.
So,
love it.
Since you're the matriarch, first names. Go ahead and introduce your family. First names.
Okay, I'm Michelle. We got Lamont right here. This is Devin, and this is Darius back here.
All right.
Awesome. Raise them right, raise them
Raider
Raiders.
family.
That's awesome.
Give it up.
And you know, Q, the best.
Oh, we're not done.
Hey, Q.
Follow me.
The best thing about it, they're neighbors of ours.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't know it.
We didn't know, yeah.
We live.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, I get it.
We used to live next door to each other in San Jose, and now we live next door to each other in Middle Tennessee. Go figure.
Go crazy, huh?
That's right. Several degrees of separation, but one
love
nation. Ain't no question
Absolutely.
about it.
Absolutely.
Now, for those folks that actually get in the live chat, we've got, a little bit of royalty about us. We've got
Big-time
a guy,
royalty.
I mean, Raider Homer.
What's up, Raider Homer?
Watch my moves. Watch her moves. Oh, yeah. She moves just like a San Diego Supercharger. I mean, I was all over her. We're giving up for Raider Homer. Raider Homer is seen on the live chat.
What's up, Raider Homer?
And before I give him the mic, I really want him, because he's a very humble guy. He does a few things on the interweb and the YouTubes, but I want him to talk about what he brings to the table and what he also does on the airwaves.
Well, I'm not as good as Murph.
No, man.
You know,
Yeah, you are.
but
Thanks so much. Yeah, you are. Uncle Mosh is taking applications. He's trying to get rid of me.
the idea behind the channel is just to get as much of the Raider Nation as I can on the channel and let them promote themselves, because there are a lot of business-minded Raider fans out there, and it's inspiring. So I want to help them out. They've been encouraging and they've been supportive of me. So since October of last year.
Good job.
I sent you that email, and I was begging to get on Raider Fan Radio. Here I am.
There you are.
And I mean.
When they tune into your show, is this the guy we're going to see?
No, you're going to see me in a mask, a Homer Simpson mask. It's Raider Homer. I had 2018. I was defending the Raiders, and Gruden making all his moves, and they were just calling me a Homer, so I went with it. And
that's awesome.
Now I'm just trying to share, the Raider Nation and everything they do. I broadcast out of Austin, Texas.
Great state of Texas, baby.
All right, Raider Homer.
Raider Homer's not alone, and she's making her cameo. She was part of our production crew. And she brought her manager, which is over her left shoulder. So go ahead and give us a check. Just give us a check.
Go Raiders.
All right, that's the best check you can get. Now, we're coming down to the last stop in the On Live Sea of Fans Interactive, and we've got this young lady's manager. Sign her. Now, it was heavy negotiations. I wanted to get in for 26 cents an episode, but my man got a 52. Now, if that ain't GM, and I don't know what it is. So I'm going to give it up, man. I'm going to pass the mic. He's going to introduce this lovely young lady right behind me, and he's going to tell him what it means to be a Raider fan and where he comes from.
I'm just kind of nervous. What it means to be a Raider fan, I don't know. Right now, I was dealing with a lot of flack because we didn't have some. I'm probably like the newest one here. I'm the youngest one anyway. So I came around when Gruden first got here. It was when I started following the Raiders, and we were amazing then. And then it's been a long time since that happened. And he's back now, and
she wasn't born.
Right. And so putting up with all that flack and still continue to be a fan, like. That's what it means to be Raider to me, because just keep going, even through all that. That's a lot of down seasons.
So what's your first name?
Jordan.
Who do you have with you?
That's my fiance, LaToya.
Let's hear from LaToya. She looks like she's a strong, really proud of the opinion of the young lady. And she got the nicest purse.
No, I'm just a Seaport Raider right here, wifey.
There we go.
Seaport Raider.
There we go. Nice.
So there you have it. We've got our interactive sea of fans. Hope you've enjoyed, these testimonials, and we're going to kick it back to the main booth. Take it away.
All right, good stuff. Thank you all so much. Great job. Great job. Thank you all so much for coming out and join us. So we got one more for you. Of course, we feature our calls here on Raiders Fan Radio, 909-345-3346. And one of the first callers, one of the first made men on the show, and you can become a made man or made woman by calling and leaving a message and getting it played on the show 3 times. And one of the first was Chuck Splatterhead McCann, and Chuck went on to his own show called the Fan Club Blitz that's right here on the Murph's Fan Cave Network. But Chuck wanted to call in and leave a message to Raider Nation and also kind of have an announcement coming up about the Jets game.
Hey, what's up, Mosh, Murph, and Jeff? This is Splatterhead from the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead, Tom, and Fitz. I just want to give you guys respect and say have a good time down at the draft. Wish we could be there with you, but we're going to be holding down the fort here in Jersey, doing adulting and living life. And probably Saturday. Well, I'm playing Sherpa Chuck on Saturday and helping my wife pick rocks at one of the local mineral digs here. So I'll be carrying pounds and pounds and pounds of rocks out of an old mine shaft up a giant hill for my wife. And then after that, I'll be over at Tom's brewing beer, recording podcast stuff, and maybe we'll give you a call then. Maybe you'll be taking live calls. I don't know. But if not, you'll get a voicemail from the whole cast and crew of the Fan Club Blitz. Anyway, have a good time and rep the Raider Nation well. I know you will. And guys, I know you're going to be at a beer house, but don't drink any beers. Because if you guys are ever going to pick up a beer again, we would appreciate it if it's done with us. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that's the way we would like it.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Sorry that the Jets game lands, a week before Thanksgiving. But, if you can make it, please do. And for everybody listening to the Black Hole of New Jersey, we're going to have a link posted in mid-June for a direct link to tickets through the Jets. I've worked out a pretty good deal with them. They're going to have a link that the Black Hole will have on our New Jersey chapter page, on the New York chapter page, on the Philly chapter page, and on our podcast as well, where you can go buy tickets and you'll be guaranteed to sit with a bunch of idiotic Raiders fans at MetLife Stadium. So as soon as that link is live, I'll post it up. Anyway, guys, hey, have fun at the draft, man. Can't wait to hear the show. All right. Love you.
All right, there he is, Chuck Splatterhead McCann. Thank you, Chuck, as always, for representing the Raiders up there in the Northeast in New Jersey. And thank you for being a part of Murph's Fan Cave and hosting the Fan Club Blitz.
Well, we're just glad he's part of us.
Absolutely.
We're glad he's with us and not a Guinness. And now that I said Guinness, I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But you got to wait. You got to wait. Have a beer with those guys up there.
Wait. Hey, this just in.
Sizzler.
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 Sizzler. So this week's Sizzler Award, our first live
Sizzler Award,
goes to Miss Michelle over there. She wins a T-shirt.
So we got a Raiders Fan Radio T-shirt for you. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So when this is all over, she's going to get her a Raiders Fan Radio T-shirt. She doesn't even have to order it.
Nope.
She can save the money and order it for the rest of the family.
There you go. Well, good deal. Well, Uncle Mosh, Aaron, I think that's about ready for us to go ahead and start winding it down. So appreciate everyone that's joined us here live at the Bavarian Beer House. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you. And I want to thank not only, of course, my co-host for the show tonight. Thank you, the one and only Uncle Mosh. Thank you, Uncle Mosh, for being here. Thank you, Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, for being here. I want to thank our official photographer, Tristan. Good job, big boy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you helping us out. Thank you to Monster Mash Kid. Thank you to everybody that came out and rep Raider Nation and helped make this possible. Thank you to the Bavarian Beer House. Thank you to the staff. Thank you again to Shalimar and Diana and Tia. You've been wonderful hosts, and we are so appreciative of you, of giving us this space and letting us come out here and do this. And gosh, guys, I'm fired up. I'm going to quit talking because my voice is about ready to give out. So I'm going to turn it over to Aaron the Q-Dog and Uncle Mosh. Take us out of here.
Hey, wherever, forever. Raider Nation, baby. The Payback Tour 2019. It starts here. Please believe it.
Awesome. Well, for Little Murph, for Big Murph, for the Capo Q-Dog, this is your one and only Uncle Mosh saying good night, God bless, and remember, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
Big Raider Trucker.
Get that post, Mosh. Perfect.